spitballing. You guys, you're lucky that this is even happening.
It's a true story.
We're learning how to use the Rumble thing here. All right.
Yeah, so as we fly it.
I know it's even cooler. I mean, I don't know if it's just me or it's not showing anybody's names on like who they are. So that's cool.
Yeah, we got that going for us too.
And we're live.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna hit
live on YouTube.
Okay, do it.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my esteemed presence. I am joined tonight by some of the greatest names in YouTube wood. We have my left, not sure what side, but the guy with the red headphones, that's the roaming prepper. We'll call him Pete. In my top right corner, in the wood paneled room, we have none other than Vision Preparedness. And of course, to my left, Mike from Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. And you can call me the Livingston Man, not Livingston, the Livingston Man, like a Tribe Called Quest. You see the whole thing. You guys, welcome this evening to the third edition of the Four Horsemen.
That's right.
I reckon that if you're here watching this on my channel, that you already know everybody else here, but we're going to start with Vision. Tell them what you do, who you are, man.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Volume 3 of the Four Horsemen. Vision preparedness, emergency preparedness, planning, survival, and I drink a lot of coffee.
Excellent. I guess then let's have it from Pete.
Yes, I am the roaming prepper. I travel a heck of a lot more than I sometimes want to, and that's kind of what prompted the channel. I kind of focus on the travel, not quite at home and things go wrong aspect of preparedness. Also hurricane prepper, because I lived in Louisiana and Houston for 17 years, and yeah, just that happened every year, so you get good at that. But yeah, that's kind of what. Well,
perfect.
You guys.
I often say about Pete puts the out in bugging out. It's why his video feed looks like that. He's actually traveling at like warp 4.6 or so right now. He's doing the castle run in 2 parsecs, man. And Mike, there's not a single effing chance that somebody watching this right now doesn't know who you are, but let's have it anyway. Why don't you talk about yourself?
Hi, I'm Mike from Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. We focus on preparedness and survival and tactics and gear and all that good stuff. And Livingston Man, I have one more thing to add. Could you do us a favor and roll that beautiful beam footage?
Not sure what's going to happen right now.
Got the Four Horsemen riding through the night, bringing hell and havoc, ain't no hiding from the fight. Clutches of apocalypse gripping on tight, dark days dawning on the blood moonlight. Got the Four Horsemen riding through the night, bringing hell and havoc, ain't no hiding from the fight. Clutches of apocalypse gripping on tight, dark days dawning on the blood moonlight.
Rest in peace, headphone users.
That was tight, Livingston Man.
Awesome.
Yeah, Tristan and I wanted to dance with you guys in the background, but our dogs would freak out.
we was getting it down. I gotta tell you, that was woo.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Music's fire.
Spoiler alert: AI wrote that song.
Wow.
Wait, but you're AI.
You're Livingston Net 1.0.
Waters, you're swimming in murky waters. It's where the
That's
sharks
very true.
bloom, bro.
It's very
I'm telling you.
Tonight's topic, and I thought really like long and hard about it because I was like,
yeah, because none of us even know what it is.
I'm
You've
still
been holding
lost
out on us till right now.
Well,
folks.
I'm still
I gotta
lost
be
on
honest.
what even last week's topic was supposed to be, and I almost felt like Pete deserved to like revisit it. He got like wrecked last time
by the Livingston freight train.
No, like I mean, if we had technical difficulties, then I feel like we went into the stream and forgot what we were going to talk about.
Yeah, that one we completely went off the rails. Like I don't know what we covered last week.
I don't either.
Yep.
You know, when you
That's-
drive too fast and you get somewhere and go, how the hell did I get here?
Yeah.
That's
I don't even
basically-
remember driving.
All right, so anyone that voluntarily subscribed to my channel is absolutely going to understand exactly what you meant by that. How did we get here? What?
Livingston Man, could you hit the chat button for me?
I'm gonna hit the chat button. Mike wants to know what everybody's talking
I
about.
want to see. I want to see.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm getting the green ones are here from Rumble. Welcome, Rumble users. I'm brand ass new here.
Yeah, thank you.
And to all the YouTube folks.
Subscribe to everybody, man. Everybody here
Yeah.
has a Rumble channel, and we got to be honest, we need your support. We just kind of started this whole Rumble thing. I don't know how long everybody else has been on Rumble, but it's extremely new to me, myself for sure, and the Livingston Man. I know Vision's got a Rumble channel, the Roaming Prepper's got a Rumble channel, and we're just trying to establish ourselves here in these Rumble streets, man. We gotta claim our Rumble corner, bro.
So if you're looking for the Livingston Man on Rumble, it's all one word. Livingston Man. One word. Then you'll find it.
Right. No space.
No space.
And I chat.
So not the punctuation man, the Livingston Man.
Yeah, I'm not the punctual. I'm not the grammar man. I'm none of that.
That's right.
I will disrespect you if you misspell shit on the internet, though. I will be like,
He's that guy.
what's that?
He's
What's
that guy.
that just say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got
hi.
an alien, man. I'm clearly impaired.
Yeah.
The topic, Livingston Man. You were almost there. You're almost there.
I was almost there. That's
I'm ready.
That's it's the constant with me. I'm almost there. So close. I forget what I'm talking about. That one thing. Okay. In your preps, in your day-to-day, your EDC, all the different acronyms, the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and whatever else. That one thing. And okay, here's the caveat. You can't say you're
Okay. No. Okay. The one thing I have to have in my EDC.
you would never be caught lacking without this thing. Okay, so what is it? And it's not.
All right, so for me, it's a tough choice for me. So I'm gonna let the other fellas go first. But it's a tough choice. It's a toss up between two things. But I'm gonna give it to the Roaming Prepper, man, because I know he's the EDC man. So I got to
figure it out because TSA throws my shit out every time I go to the airport. I've lost several knives. True story. One of my buddies calls me after a flight. He goes, "Bro, I had a loaded Glock mag at the bottom of my bag. Didn't have the pistol, but he forgot the mag because it's Ulcer's range bag. So they actually were really cool. They're like, it has to be confiscated. He's like, I get it. Screw it, trash. So that guy took it home, right? But
Yeah, he did.
Because especially here in Texas, they can own it. It just But honestly, for me, normally it would be two things: a pocket knife or tool of some type, and a flashlight. If I had to narrow it down to one, when I'm traveling, would be the flashlight, because I've actually been in an airport and the lights went off. And you're in this big facility with, whatever, 10,000 people. I mean, Bush, JFK, LAX, these are massive they're like cities. And the lights go out, and apparently everyone suddenly goes to a single-digit IQ, and they all become stupid. And then some get smart and say, oh, we need to leave this area, and you can't see, and they fall downstairs. I mean, I've seen so many people get hurt because they couldn't see where they were going. So if I had to pick one, it would be the flashlight, and then I would go look for a pocket knife or some other multi-tool. But yeah,
it's a true story. I have seen the same thing at the place we work. It's an event venue, and standard practice is to give the lights a flash, 15-minute warning. We don't have a PA system be like, attention shoppers, but just give the lights a quick flash. I did this once at whether it was the exact right time or the exact wrong time, I'll leave up to the subscribers. But so I clicked the lights up and down twice. And this chick fell off like the third step and just ate it.
But that's funny. But imagine
that was just like nothing. I like the.
You
I
know,
like the
there's some old buildings out, and you know, you're supposed to, and you guys would know this. You're supposed to have the bug lights, right? The emergency lights. When the power goes out, batteries come on, so
Yep.
you don't kill yourself leaving the building. And they're
Mhm.
buildings, you know, they don't inspect them. And
Oh
you're
yeah.
going down by the third floor, people are tripping, falling on each other. I'm like, no. And then, of course, if it's a tactical flashlight, you get a belligerent drunk. You just flash them with the strobe and then give
Oh
them
yeah.
a quick push, and down they go. It's great.
Well, a lot of those things are designed that the nose of them, you can use them as an impact tool if you
Yeah.
have to, you know. So
It's for smashing car windows.
yeah,
Okay, that's what that's for.
double duty, double
Yeah.
duty.
Hit somebody with one of those.
Man,
Gross.
the one thing. See, I'm
And it can't be
I'm
the
all
thing.
about I'm all about my Glockweiler being with me at all the time.
I had to put when I thought of it, I was like, all these guys are literally going to say this, and I was like, so we
Yeah,
gotta-
So
you know, it's
I-
a flashlight built into it.
Right?
So I mean,
So
there
we
you
got
go.
one on it. And a cute
Yeah,
little.
it has a light built into it, a little flashy thing that comes out second after you hear the sound it makes. But for me, it oh God, it would have to be either a knife or some fire.
A lighter or a ferro rod or something.
Yeah, something. More likely,
good
I'm
one.
going to take the easy way out and take a lighter, but
Yeah.
either a knife or a lighter. I'll use my night vision built in, but you know, a knife or a lighter.
Yeah. I was going to tell you coal is not an EDC item.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I can't get him in my pocket, but I can get him to follow me.
Oh, yeah. And he'd probably
drag you
do
at
a
a
better
tough spot.
job navigating the dark than
Yeah,
any human.
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
Just follow him.
Yeah, but for me, it would be a knife for sure. Yes.
What's yours, Livingston Man? What's your one thing? Or do you want me to go? You want to go around and I'll answer mine.
No, you know what? When as Vision was talking about whether it was a light or a light, I'm like, I think the thing that would I would almost like for not only function but like comfort would be to have a lighter in my pocket.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess if in an extreme situation, you could use it as a torch. You could try to see what you're doing, but more importantly, you could just set the whole place on fire and then really see what's going on. But
There you go. I'll
it'd be
vote for that.
one of them things like, see, when you reach for something, you gotta have that thing in your pocket. But again,
Yeah.
a knife is super important too. But unless you're gonna walk around in the woods all in the dark, like with your knife, like you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
You know.
Pete's flashlight, I think, has taken the cake. My answer was going to be the a Leatherman multi-tool because it's so many different tools in
Right,
one.
yeah, I'll give you
But-
that.
But I think Pete's got the right idea. 50% of our 24 hours, well, sometimes more than 50% of our 24 hours is spent in darkness. So especially on a night like tonight, tonight's the new moon, so it's going to be dark as hell, like all night long.
Plus, wait till SHTF. I'm telling you, you have a lighter in your pocket because what I'm gonna do, that like cigarette butt waste, it makes up like a significant percentage of like human-made refuse on planet Earth. So, and there's this totally like locked out market. Nobody's ever thought of this, right? You go and collect like all the cigarette butts and you empty them out and you like just make your custom blend out of it. And you start rolling them up. Apocalypse smokes, bro. And everybody's laughing now. Go ahead and chuckle.
Yeah,
And so
that's
you're
right.
like, God, you more of them things, bro. Because I'm gonna be the only one doing it.
That's
So
right.
true story about cigarette filters. My dad used to smoke the Salem cigarettes, and God, I hate cigarettes, but the smell of the Salems. One day I decided to flip his cigarettes upside down.
Oh,
He didn't look. He lit the filter. Douche.
oh,
Quieren carajo hizo eso? I was out. I was gone. Me and my brother, we just vacated.
oh man.
Yeah, but it makes a good fire starter, man. The
It
filter.
does.
Yeah.
Also, they can be used as like for trade. It's black market stuff, man. I mean, everybody's like, yo, I'll just quit. Yeah, right. Until Livingston Man got that homemade shit.
Now you're back on the wagon. So EDC, the one thing. All right.
Followers, I
Well,
call them.
so can I grab your topic, kind of, Livingston Man?
I'm gonna
And-
actually leave it to you because I forgot a very important element. Speaking of like hand rolled ashtray.
Oh yeah, well yeah. That way you don't have to
cigarettes.
go to the ashtray and get into the hand rolls. Now you want to save those for the apocalypse. Yeah. By all means. All right.
A
So
lot of people think I smoke Camels. I don't. I make these. I found them.
he's a manufacturing facility.
Bro, find you like any like a Burger King or like a deli joint, like anywhere like a convenience store, and you rob out the communal ashtray because the employees, they go out there, they rip like 3 drags and they just put it out, and you just roll up all nonchalant, like so, how you guys
with the price of
some of the
cigarettes
filters
here
might
in New
have
York,
lipstick on them.
it's,
I'm sorry, but listen, I got
that's a big
They'll
thing.
be in withdrawals. It won't matter.
Oh yeah,
I got them like this.
I think
Avocados, Pete.
I think the next the one thing, right? We went from
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
live stream.
we're I think we are. Yes.
Uh,
Please stand by.
that was cool.
I don't know what happened, but they're back.
I guess I'll just leave it.
did you turn the audio back on?
I can't hear Livingston Man's mic.
That's okay. He's leaving.
Man, I was thinking, the chupacabra got him.
Oh, wow. That was phew. He started hitting buttons, hit the wrong button.
Apparently.
So the
you're
one
back.
thing, the one thing, right? The one thing.
One thing.
So you have the one EDC item. What's the one thing that you could not be without in your bug out bag? What's the one thing in your bug out bag that you absolutely could not survive without?
For me, it would be water.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah, it would be shoot. It depends. See, I'm sitting here thinking, well, was I in a park or was I in an airport or am I in a hotel or a high rise? And my brains go clicking so many different, because I'd go back to the flash. If I'm 30 stories up, I don't want to come down in the dark. I'll just wait till everyone else falls down the stairs and I'll just bounce down their unconscious bodies. But shoot, if I was outdoors, water or a knife, like a proper tool for the outdoors, that's a tough one. Because
Livingston, man, what do you think? What's the one piece of gear in your bug out bag that you don't want to be without?
This is, anybody that has like a bunch of gear is gonna really. This is an agonizing question. Like, let's look at it like you can't have nothing else. Like,
it's just
the one.
Just in the bug out bag, the one piece of gear in there that you would not want to be without.
And I already said, like, a lighter would already be in my pocket. Do I still get to lean on that?
Well, no. I mean, this is your bug out bag. That's your EDC. Your lighter's already in your pocket.
Okay.
This is
So
in
now
your
we're
bug
allowed
out bag.
EDC, right? I see. I went away from a minute.
Yeah. But no, just the one piece of gear in your bug out bag that you don't want to be without. The one thing.
You know what? And it's really a pretty simple little thing. Is actually I have a Polar Tech fleece cap, little hat.
Okay.
Like even this weather we're having right now.
Yeah.
It's about. I carry one around in my pocket. I have like 3 or 4 of them, and I just leave them in the pocket of my pants. And if I don't wear it, it gets washed with it.
Yeah.
But I have like short hair, and I'm kind of skinny, and
I have no hair. So
you live in fucking the desert, Pete.
The desert became -10 last year. Like,
yeah, it's true.
I had
Well,
snow
people don't
cactus.
understand.
Who the hell has that?
Right.
People don't get that desert means lack of rainfall, not exactly.
That's right.
Like it's not always hot there. It just means lack of moisture and rain.
Yes.
But yeah, my little hat, I can't live without it. As soon as it starts getting into the fall season, I gotta have a hat on because otherwise I will just freeze. All my body heat goes out my head and neck. And there'd be another thing, almost a comfort item, and I'd be like Linus with his security blanket from Charlie Brown there, like just clinging to my hat. At least I got my hat and my lighter, whatever comes,
Yeah.
But you kind of touch on something, a lot of folks would say, well, a knife, if you add the 4 things we just spoke about, right? A lighter, a knife, water, a flashlight, but you get someone who's thinking the way we do and say, okay, I know I need more than these 4 items, and I'm just happen to have that in my bag today. So that's how you start your kit.
Yeah.
Because, I know all 4 of us would immediately be thinking, if we were stuck by ourselves, all right, I need food, and I need a poncho, and I need a hat. You know what I mean? I start adding.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting thought there, because you take a hat for granted, but it's huge, actually.
Yeah, it really is.
Something that, to me, a hat is probably something like, I guess you'd call it EDC. Like the things, I work on a farm, and what comes may, and whatever the phrase is, you know what I mean? And so it doesn't matter. Like if it's going to rain, it's going to snow, especially weather factors heavy. So what I've tried to do is find versatile items that can be used for a multitude. I don't need a raincoat, a snowsuit. Like I don't need a windbreaker. I don't need all like specialized nonsense. I just need like a jacket that kind of can get there with me.
Right. Serve all the purposes.
The simpler your kit, you guys. I don't know what kind of person like you might be, but like even when I go camping, I cannot stand bringing like mad stuff. It's always fun to bring all your toys out and like play with them all.
Oh yeah.
But the worst part, and we know this from growing up in kindergarten when they were like, cleanup time.
Yeah.
Now you got to put all this stuff away, and you're like, okay. You start figuring out real quick that you didn't even touch half this stuff. You didn't even take X and Y or Z out the box. You forgot you even brought it, and then you just take your stuff out and play with it by all means, because you were going to find out quick what you actually use and care about. And the rest of it was like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with that thing.
Yeah. That's the big one. You got to use your stuff, guys. That's the biggest thing. And the more you use your stuff, the less you're going to find that you need. And you can really slim these things down. If you're going to pack heavy on something, pack heavy food, pack heavy water, pack heavy security. But don't burden yourself with useless items or that Amazon buy, that multiple survival tool that you're going to die without. That thing's a piece of shit. I found that most items that claim to do multiple things don't do any of those things very well at all.
Very well, none.
No, you would be better off, with smashing that tent stake in with a rock.
Okay, there are 2 exceptions to the multi-tools that don't work for a lot of things, though. One is the spork. And you think about it, the little metal sporks with the can opener on the other end are actually great. The other one's the entrenching tool, the fold-up shovel, the military one, whether it's a solid handle or the trifold. I like the solid handle, but you pay for the weight, but you can dig with it. It's definitely a weapon. The guys in the trench warfare showed us that. You can also use it for cooking. If you could clean it up a bit, you hold it over a fire and put whatever you got there. It's the awful frying pan in the world, but you could use it for that.
Absolutely.
So you know what works better actually for that is one day we was like in the trenches on the job site one time. They had bulldozed all these trees into a pile, and we had to go out and burn them and just kind of like, drag brush and more or less hang out. We had to start the fires big. I'm talking piles, man. My my little profile picture I often use of me standing in front of a giant fire. That's what that was. So we were hungry, and so we sent Mrs. Livingston. She got a pack of bratwurst or 2, and we stuck them. We let the pitchfork sit in the fire for like minutes, and then we stuck the bratwurst on the pitchfork, and it just took it over the fire. As this is occurring, the prestigious boss lady shows up and is like utterly fascinated by the lower class like doing the field work. It was unbelievable. She's like, I was like, yeah, we're just cooking lunch. I was like, you want one? Like, well, I know I don't. And she was very gracious, and she was not at all like snooty about it, but I think she was had just genuinely never seen like just guys like, no, we're just gonna cook it right here. I don't care. Like, you know, hey,
Right.
it's hot.
Like she's never eaten anything that was cooked over fire before.
I feel like she would have ate one, but it would have been rude on her part to take our food.
Okay. So with the theme of picking stuff, I got one for y'all.
Bratwurst.
Do it.
Gotta get bratwurst. Freeze dried brat.
What
You're on.
is the one piece of gear you bought which you wish you never bought?
Well, I got a few of those, Vision. I got quite a few of those.
Yes.
Overrated.
But do I have to narrow it down to
One.
one?
One thing you bought you wish you didn't buy.
No, I don't know, man. There's so many things, man. There's so many things.
Here's a good one. I got an Alice pack, which normally would be a great buy, but I ordered the frame and the pack separately. And by the time I got around to actually fitting them, the cover of the LC2 pack was not big enough to cover. They had stitched the medium onto the large pack. So I have this bizarre like hybrid thing that's really not functional. I've used it, but I'm planning to find a new home for that. Keep the frame and get a proper bag and put that on the frame. But yeah, that was one of those things. I bought it, and normally I'm pretty good about immediately inspecting the new item.
Yeah.
And I didn't that time, and I got stuck with that. So it's still sitting in my closet now. It's been a good couple of years it's been in there.
Right.
Man, just one, Trent? You're killing me. There's just so many. There's so many.
I know.
Oh, I had.
Okay, so early on, I had purchased some freeze-dried food from a, let's say, cheaper end company, and I had stored it in with some other preps that I had put away, some pastas and things like that, and everything was in a big storage tote, one of those big Rubbermaid totes.
They sent it to you like that, or that's how you kept it?
No, that's how I kept it. Okay. It was all in a package, and I don't want to blast the company because they may have changed the way that they do things. It's been a long time.
Oh, don't worry. There's only 34 people on Rumble, dude. You can say whatever you want here.
You got 11 on Rumble, and you got 23 on Rumble. YouTube.
You got to hold. Oh, we just lost 3. They don't want to hear that shit. All right.
Well, all right. So the
love you too, bro. Thanks for coming by.
The seasonings that they used in whatever it was that they created, it was like some kind of soup mix that was in there. It was so pungent that it came like through the bag, and the pasta, everything in the tote just reeked of this seasoning. And every time I smell it, I'm like, throw it away. It's one of those questionable, and it was like a bulk buy too. It was foolish because I didn't get the sample sizes first and really test the stuff out. And I was just like, I gotta have freeze-dried food. We're all gonna die on Wednesday. And it, I kind of jumped before I should have, and I wasted a bunch of money on that. And then I kind of ruined some other preps. All that pasta and stuff that was stored in there wasn't in Mylar, so it all took on the smell of it. And it was early on, and I thought I was doing good just throwing stuff in a tote and not like really sealing it up. And I screwed up a bunch of stuff. And it was that freeze-dried food, Vision. It was that cheapo freeze-dried food that got me.
Yeah. For me, it was a cheap Camelback. Nice, looked absolutely nice, So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for a ruck, and I'm gonna take my Camelback. So I got water. So I filled it up, geared it up, and off I went. And halfway through one way, I said, let me get some water. And nothing came out. So I took off the Camelback, it had a pinhole in the bladder.
Oh.
And I turn around and there's a trail of water behind me.
I'm surprised you didn't have a wet butt, because that happened to me.
Yeah, and the
screw
back
the
of my
thing in.
shirt was wet, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I just pulled the bladder. Hi.
Total takeover.
I like cookies, Dad.
Yes. So I ended up tearing the thing off. Rip, get down. Thank you.
He's like, no,
Ripped
I'm
the
the star
bladder
show.
out of it and tossed it.
See, Cole wants us
And
to be the
kept on
5
hiking.
Horsemen.
Yeah, Cole, get down.
Vision, like, no disrespect, but what you should do is let the dog sit in your chair and narrate from off camera.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. I may do that. He just heard Mom and he went running, so she must have peanut butter or something.
She crinkled the bag, and he's like, snacks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Stage left.
Through the
Yeah.
door. So crummy hydration bladder. Knock off.
Crummy hydration bladder. Yes.
I've had the leaky bladder experience as well. I ruined a couple
This
things.
episode brought to you by Huggies pull-ups.
Yeah, you're gonna need them for when your camelback leaks.
He's got the
Yes.
leaky bladder.
Yeah, I've definitely.
Exactly.
Not again, living.
So mine was in. I put the cheapo hydration bladder. I want to say I picked it up at like Walmart or something. It was one of them
Good
the
ones.
Ozark Trail, real POSs. You know, I was like, this will do. You know, this is just as good as, and anything paper that was
taste of
in my
China in the
bag
water, it's like-
was completely and totally ruined. You're absolutely right about that, Livingston, man.
Why is
Everything
there like
tastes
cadmium in my hydration?
tastes like the
bladder?
plastic. That
said
stuff probably gave me a kidney stone
Why-
from
what-
drinking
what else are
through
we
it.
supposed
You
to do
know,
with it?
and
Yeah.
it was there's some things that you don't want to skimp on quality, guys. Some things are better left to the professionals. No offense to the guys trying to make a better product a little bit cheaper. And if you think you have, send it to all of us, and we're going to beat the shit out of it and tell you if you really have. And then we'll tell everybody, hey man, this thing takes a beating and does what it says it's going to.
Okay, so here's one for you. What was your surprise purchase that you thought, this is probably going to be cheap, it's just for the weekend, and it wound up surprising? Because I bought a Rebo tactical backpack. It's just, I needed something for a trip, and I was like, I'm going to Amazon it to, the Amazon locker at my destination. So when I fly in, I'll just go there and retrieve it in the morning.
Oh, that's so cool.
I've had that thing
What's
like
that for? I never
years.
understood why they would ever want me to do that. They've offered me that. It's like, would you like to go pick it up at the corner convenience store? I'm like, absolutely not. Don't give those people
Well,
but okay, now that makes sense. Like for someone traveling, yeah. All right, now I
So
get
like
that.
I've done that before where I'm headed like from A to B, and I'm like, okay, crap, I need this. So I pull over to get gas, use the restroom. I'm like, all right, Amazon, send that to this place by my hotel. And I go, I check in, throw all my shit, and then in the morning I get up, go to Lowe's, wherever the stupid thing is, and I get my product out. And I still have it. As a matter of fact, I have 3. And I've gone actually fell down a small mountain with, because I was being a dumbass with my son, and down we went. Still have the bag. Completely shocked the crap out of me.
That's awesome.
A thing I thought was gonna suck, or assumed that it probably wouldn't last too long. Off the top of my head was my Cosmito, the One Tigress Cosmito tent.
Yeah.
At the time I bought it, I think it was like $130. I'm like, whatever, But when something's made in like full on China like that, that's a different kind of $130. Like now you're for $130 Chinese, you're getting like a mid-grade product, which turned out to be the case. I took what I thought was a gamble on it. It had decent reviews, but I'm like, it's a light fighter, but it's you know, like
way cheaper.
So I got it, and it's not only my favorite tent that I think I've ever seen in my life, because it can just be, it is so easy to set up. It's completely waterproof. We went on the camping expedition to Camp Caterpillar there up in the Taconic Mountains, and it rained the whole damn time, and I never even caught a drip inside the thing.
Yep.
It's my go-to tent. Anyone could set this thing up. It's great for the kids. Like it's complex enough where they feel like they did something really cool, but it's so simple that like that's why I bought it. You trade a little bit in size, but it comes with features that are unheard of in its price point.
Absolutely.
And I was pleasantly surprised. I'm like, okay.
A lot of the similar tents like that are like $500 to $800. Livingston Man, honestly.
Sometimes made in China doesn't mean made in China.
Yeah. Well, it's actually a Japanese company. One Tigers. They're not Chinese. They're Japanese.
Who owns it? Where was it made?
I don't know.
Okay,
that's a whole nother question.
I have Fender Stratocasters right here that are made in Mexico, so I can say it, I can show it to you on the back of the headstock, Mike. That's what I didn't get to chime in, but about purchases you regret, and a lot of them boil down to food.
Okay,
you're gonna hear me say this right now. Spam. I go to the store. We do the grocery shopping, like let's say like 2 or 3 weeks, right? So it lasts a long time, and I have too much of it. I am going to end up having to give some away, or like have a massive spam barbecue. Is what I was thinking. I was going to smoke them. I was going to stack them.
Oh yeah.
Get Hatch chilies, cut them in half, take the seeds out, or your nose will run for a week if you eat that. And you put some cream cheese, a little bit of sauteed Spam, a little bit of bacon in there, and you just make an armadillo tail on a grill. Put them in the air fryer too.
Do it.
All right, I'm going to need you to elaborate on what an armadillo tail is.
It's a nickname for basically it's like there's another name for them, and it just escapes me now. Where you split a pepper and you can pick your pepper. Take the seeds out, and then you fill it
with peppers, Pete.
Basically, but not a pickled pepper, a pica pepper where you burn your mouth a little bit, I
don't like that. I don't want to bleed from my eyeballs because I want to eat food. What's up with y'all Southwesterners, man? Why's the food got to hurt?
I don't know. Ask the Cajuns. I mean, geez.
Yeah, they're the ones.
I can't understand them when they talk about.
Well, think about it. The Cajuns and all the cowboys and the rancheros, we all live like on the same latitude, so we're always going back and forth, burning each other's mouths.
The weather's so hot all the time. The food has to be too. That's just the way it goes.
Pete's trying to feed me these Reaper peppers, talking about it's a dry heat.
Dude, I got some ghost peppers. I got some ghost peppers. I don't care if you take the seeds out, skin it. Whatever you do to it, it's still yeah.
If you touch it and rub your nose
I eat tacos, and I'm like,
this is just a pissing match at this point, isn't it? Like, what are we doing? Like, I bet you can't eat that. I agree with you.
Yeah,
do I win the bet
really
or no?
don't
I'm betting against myself on this one because I know I ain't doing that shit. And they got even worse ones now. Carolina Reaper, and they're like.
Yep.
We can do better than that.
That's for liberals, bro. There's some new one. It's like Satan's ass or whatever. Like they're not even pulling punches.
There's a hot sauce down here.
Yeah,
New Mexico devil's asshole.
See.
I gotta find it now. I've got to find it, and I gotta tag all of you on it. I'm on a mission.
So the one thing I bought that I was surprised that it worked is this thing is called a 3-second tent. You unroll it, flip the legs down, pull it up in the middle, and poof, you've got a tent.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I said okay. So I got 2 of them for $100 and some bucks. One is a supposedly a 4-man, and the other one is a 2-man. Okay. So I tested it out and actually did a video on it and camped out in it in the background. in the backyard, and I'm shocked it did not leak, and it rained. And I was like, cool. So I now carry the 2-man tent, which it folds up. It's like that big. That's under the back seat in my truck. So
Heck,
yeah, along with a tarp and just in case. So it lives in my truck. I was pleasantly surprised.
so it wasn't given. Well, I didn't buy it, but it was given to me.
By who?
His name. Well, no, his name was.
Deep
The guy reached out to me on Instagram. He saw the content I was putting out, and he was like, "Hey, man, I make this product, and I'd like to send it to you, and I want you to try it out." So he sent me these fire starters, right? And they look like little candles. They look like votive candles, and everybody I give them to, they're like, "Oh, you gave me a candle as a fire starter?" And I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
no, I didn't. I gave you a Mickwick fire starter."
Mickwick.
They super impressed me.
They are not candles.
I really thought it was going to be a gimmick, man. I thought this guy just sent me some votive candles, like without the little metal cup on them. And I was so shocked by how well they worked that I still use them to this day. I don't know if I'm still affiliated with Mickwick. I haven't heard from Mr. Mickwick in a long time, but I appreciate him and his products, and they work fabulous, man. I've never stopped.
He's probably blowing up overseas right now.
Yeah, I hope so.
Right.
I hope so for Mr. Mickwick, man. He's he made a great product, and he does a great service. They're super lightweight. They're waterproof. You can't beat them. You can't beat them. That's the one thing that really took me off guard, because I really thought they were going to be junk, honestly, and they blew me away.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta try something that's a little bit off the beaten path to see is this product good. Because like the hydration pack, same manufacturer, I got like for biking, and that's my park pack. So if I'm just going to the county park with the dogs, take the little pack. And the first one I had, man, I took it through Harvey. Hurricane Harvey was my hydration pack. And I took it camping and the whole 9 yards. Eventually I killed it, right? Because at some point you break stuff. But, I spent under, $30-40, not even. And it lasted me 6 years, 7 years. That's
a good buy.
That's a damn good buy. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And, someone even mentioned in the chat, if that's all you can get the best you can.
Absolutely.
For now. And then, you retire it when you upgrade.
And like Camo Carl said in the chat, I think it's a big thing to if you have a piece of gear that's not really working for you, it's not out of the realm of norm to modify it to meet your needs. If you need to add an extra strap here or put your own waist belt on something, sometimes you got to work with what you have. I did a short video. My wife actually helped me make it on improvising a bag out of like a pair of pants. You can take a pair of pants and a piece of cordage and make yourself a backpack.
He's carrying a load in them pants.
And we all just got kicked off YouTube. No.
And exactly.
All it took.
But I mean, you really.
I didn't even swear the whole time until just then.
Yeah,
I did really good.
Let her rip, tater chip.
Hey, you know what? This is Rumble. We say what we want over here. We get banned if we try hard enough.
But yeah, it's not, modify it, man. Make it work. If take it apart and see what's going on with it. Don't be afraid to tinker with your gear to dial it into your needs.
It's kind of like doing CPR. I mean, if it already doesn't work right, what are you going to do? Like
just blow in the game cartridge, right?
Yeah,
and it's back on its feet.
Yeah,
so many things I wanted to touch. We're coming up on our. Let's see, we got another 15
minutes,
something like
16.
We did come in a little late on you guys because we was messing around. I know how to use the thing, but Pete, you served in the Marine Corps, is that correct?
No, I was Army Guards.
Sorry, my apologies.
No, I won't claim to be a Marine. They get salty with me. They're like,
Jason, did you serve?
Serve what?
Your country?
Of course I did. I was Well, I can't say that. No,
No.
Okay.
I was waiting. You didn't say.
I almost did. I'm so glad I didn't.
That might have gotten us all kicked off here.
Yeah.
So on the concept of tents, we were talking about tents, and we were talking about, you know, a 1-man, 2-man, 3-man tent. Now,
Mhm.
as an American male, with, you know, no disrespect to any other nationalities or genders, is that to me a 3-person tent is a 1-person tent.
Yeah.
Discuss.
I'd agree. As a matter of
I
fact, if
agree.
I'm backpacking, the smallest tent I would take would be a 2-person fold up, knowing it would be me and my gear, and you know what I mean. It wouldn't just when they give you those. Oh yeah, this is a 4-person tent. If you look at the pictures, like 4 people all like stacked like mummies, like
Yeah.
sardines next to. Who the hell
They're all
does that?
They're all 5'7". You're like, that's okay.
Yeah, and you bust your face on the stupid pole. No, and then Cole runs in there, and then it's Cole's tent.
Yep.
Oh, of course.
Or
And
my
he's
4
going to tear it
potatoes.
apart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has to be at least a 2, but a 3. I do agree with you. That would be ideal size for your gear, and all your other crap to go in with you.
That's a big one. I think.
I like the Cosmito tent. I'm sorry to cut you.
Yeah, no,
off
go
there.
right ahead.
It's a 2-person tent, but and it can do it. Myself and Mrs. Livingston have shared it, but once you try to stow like the gear that you brought inside, like now you start to get a little cramped up. It does help that the Cosmito has 2 doors. Each person can exit their own way. You don't have to crawl over top of something.
And some small vestibules too.
Yeah, they're really small though, and I honestly don't find them useful unless I'm trying to like divert wind.
Yeah, no, a pair of shoes maybe. They're not huge, but
Right. I have this other thing called the backwoods bungalow.
yeah, that thing's pretty cool.
I thought this thing would be cool because it's completely modular. You use ropes to like rig it out, and it's just a tent with no frame, and you use rope to string yourself out. I'm like, so the idea being, okay, cool, I can set this up anywhere. But in the absence of a whole lot of poles, stakes, or trees, like say you literally can't use this thing in a field because there's nothing to tie it
Yeah,
to.
unless you buy some poles, you'll need some
Right.
poles.
And so now you're carrying poles anyway. And what's the difference? And that tent's great for 1 person only, but it's really like, I almost consider it a glamping thing. I'm like, this is something you like set up at the beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas the more of like a pup tent style, the Cosmito is actually practical.
Yeah, and the Cosmito is a little more freestanding, although you do need to stake the rainfly out to be able to close the doors on that thing. And to add to your Cosmito thing, they've actually made a 4-season one now too, called the Stella. Yeah, it's a black cover over the rainfly is black, and the inside of the tent, instead of being mesh, is like nylon.
It's like this, like you
Yeah.
know the bug netting. What are these?
Yeah.
It's
Like mosquito net type stuff.
super fun. It's to kill condensation forming in the 4th season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like this mesh tube with like a rain fly. Like,
God,
over
and my dad used to get those damn canvas tents from Hillary Company.
Yeah, the big
from
heavy
Sears, and you had to use that wax stuff on the seams every season. That was I don't
those
miss
things,
that.
we went to the Boy Scout camps back in the day, Camp Saratoga here in upstate New York, as well as Boy Haven. Chill out, Jeffrey Epstein. Weird name, bro. But yeah, the Boy Scout camp was literally called that. You know, we went and we freaking rode the boats and did the thing. But the big camp, Boy Haven had log lean-tos with 4 beds in each one, 2 racks.
Oh, that's cool.
But Camp Saratoga had the Army issue Korean War, like, you know, canvas army tents.
Yeah, the wall tents. Wall tents.
They had their positives. If it was cold or if you sealed it right and it rained, you did okay.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
God, they were heavy.
I think the back to the tent thing, Livingston Man. If when I'm looking for a tent anymore, I'm looking for something like Pete said, that you can accommodate me plus my gear. My bug out bag's the size of me. We've seen it. It's huge. It's going to weigh 60, 70 plus pounds. And what are you doing?
I wasn't ready for that. That kind of freaked me
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, look at him go. But I often look for something that has enough room, at least a 2-person tent. But I want a vestibule. I want my stuff outside, covered, protected from the elements and potential critters. You know, if something ran away with my boots in the middle of the night, I'd be really pissed off when I woke up in the morning.
Yes.
I've had I've had some things disappear in the woods from critters coming through. When I was younger, we lost a couple fishing poles on a camping trip in Maine. I didn't tie the line up enough, and the bears ran through camp at night, and one of them got tangled up in the fishing poles. All left into the woods, and we found the broken pieces of the fishing poles and brought them back. But it's important for me to keep everything under cover, and that's why I really look for the ones with the vestibules in them.
Yeah. Yep.
But you want to have your gear in proximity when you think about it. This camera movement is very cool, by the way.
It's the magic.
It's a PTZ webcam, they call it. Pan, tilt, zoom.
Yeah.
Is that part of Livingston Man 1.0?
Oh yeah, I am like remotely connected to it. That's what I was doing.
He just moves his fingers the right way,
like Stephen Hawking, but like retarded.
So Pete, I saw your question to Ghost Lincoln in the chat. I am a one Tigris junkie, bro. I am hooked on.
He has like
stuff.
every single.
I do. I've got everything.
Chair.
I've got everything. Well, I don't have the chair, but I do have. I have 2 of their cots. Their cots are, bro. It's like sleeping on a concrete floor. They are so rigid. You gotta like jump on these things with a couple other. All right. Everybody's leave. That's fine. Everybody's in and out. This is the revolving door of the Four Horsemen. You never know when somebody's going to have to ride off to handle something. All right.
Before potty breaks.
Yeah. You got to do it. But no, I'm a total one Tigris junkie. I have everything. I have their hot tents. I have their hammocks. I have their tarps. I use their stuff all the time. I have their bushcraft mat. If you haven't seen that thing, it doubles as a bushcraft chair. Absolutely fantastic. It's like $30. Their stuff is super affordable, and I've been beating the crap out of it. The roaming prepper, I've beaten the crap out of it, and it's still working fantastic.
Awesome.
So I had the one Tigris hammock, and a buddy of mine needed a hammock, and I said, okay, here, you can have mine. And I just got done packing it up, and I threw it to him. I was like, here, take it, and I ordered myself another one. Because I was thinking about upgrading to something a little nicer. The Angry Prepper rocks what he calls the Cadillac of hammocks, and his hammock is pretty awesome. And I was thinking about going that route. But the one Tigris, man, it's so affordable. It's so comfortable. So comfortable. So
they're a Japanese company.
Yeah, they make some good stuff. And if you guys if you have dogs, they're really big into the pet stuff too. Some tactical stuff.
They have a poop pouch. I just looked at the website.
Yeah, bro, they got everything.
Hold up. I come back, and this is he's talking about tactical poop pouch, and this was the same chat that 20 minutes ago was talking about most regrettable purchases. Yeah, but that shit's $1,000.
No, that's a great purchase. It's a great purchase for a white elephant for someone else. And here's your tactical poop pouch.
That's right.
For $39.95, I'm gonna be putting my own poop in it, Pete.
Exactly.
I don't think that would be a death elephant. That would no longer be a white elephant.
Molly attachment.
Exactly.
I keep the first aid kit on it just in case I find some rotten Taco Bell.
I got one for y'all. So, because we all have our favorite thing that we just keep buying more and more and more and more. What is the one thing that you would say you have too much of or too many of?
Grail water purification devices. I have every single one of them in every color, shape, and size, and I have multiple filters for all of them. And I love the Grails, and I'm not going to stop.
Spam. I have every size, flavor, shape. I got them all. I have it's at this point, it's not a pantry, it's a collection. Like it's curated.
It's curated.
Is it alphabetized?
I got them set up by date vision.
Who's that guy? He's like the sommelier. Sommelier of spam.
There's gonna come a time when the only worth it really has is when I have to tank the market and start signing it and selling it.
No, you can't do that because you just devalued mine already, according to Love and Life. So
You did that.
No. I provided a can of spam. You're the one who said you were going to send autographed copies.
He shoves this
spam.
document in front of me and he's just like, sign this, everything's cool.
Yeah,
so
and then
I
he
did.
just put the spam in front of him and he's signing, I got him in signature mode and he's signing things.
He's
So
not
I just
even
slide
reading
the
it. I
spam in
don't
front of him and he just keeps looking at the computer and signing things. So I just slide the spam in front of him. So there is a big difference.
Do I look like the type to
Spam.
read the legislation before I sign it?
No, you don't.
There is a big difference in the placement of the signature on the cans, I believe. I believe Visions is signed across the face of the can.
Yes.
And Love and Life's are all signed on the pop top of the can.
Those are the counterfeit ones. If it's signed on the top, it's counterfeit.
Well, you kind of implied there's more than one of these so-called counterfeit ones. You said
It's
Love and
signed
Life.
right there on the top of the bun.
I saw that.
How many of these,
So I saw the
counterfeit
video.
documents
I
you
saw the
snuck in?
video, man. I saw the video.
Yeah, I
Love
did
and
too.
Life. There's like a whole Livingston Man spam trail.
Yeah. I was like, that's
All of them said Livingston Man on them.
Yeah.
All of them.
counterfeit. I've contacted my lawyer and we're ready to go to court.
Yep.
They're going to reduce the value of the
I'm
original
going to testify
spam.
on Vision's behalf, just I guess because you know what?
Yeah.
You're my boy,
He is going to get subpoenaed
That's
to
the
show
homie. That's the
up.
homie right there. I ain't no snitch.
You're my boy, Blue.
You must be joking.
So for me, the one thing I have that I just keep buying them every time a new one comes out is Baofeng radio.
Ooh, I used to have that with GoPro cameras, but that's another video.
This is the new UV5RM.
Nice.
Which is of course bigger, but it has, you can encrypt the frequencies you talk on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very cool.
I'll encrypt your frequency.
Exactly. I know your Livingston Net 1.0.
I am the frequency.
Yeah, he is.
And the encryption. You thought the Alpha and the Omega was cool? You don't even thought about this.
So my UV5Rs, I give them away. And say, here, test them and use it. And I just keep giving radios away.
It must be wild, you guys, with your like long range, like shortwave, whatever the HF that you do. Y'all do
HF is the goal, but I'm not
Yes,
quite
it
there
is.
yet.
Yeah,
Almost.
Still, like, you're like tuning in Tokyo on that shit. Like, just
well, you can go all the way around the world with HF. You can bounce signals
go
up
everywhere.
To upstate New York, Hicks sit in the woods, like listen to some Armenian.
Like legit. So at the Bug Out Bag weekend,
you hear this, bro? Like, I hear it.
We've had a couple different people come with their radio setups to to the woods up here in upstate New York, and they bust out the rig and they turn it on, they put the antenna up, and next thing you know, we're talking to people in Florida from here in upstate New York. No phones, no nothing, over the airwaves, and it's incredible to be able to establish communications when there's nothing there. You're in the middle of the woods. You had to bring your own power supply. You had to bring everything, and you're trying to do it on as little wattage as possible to make your battery last as long as possible. So, folks are like, well, when shit hit the fan, Mike, I don't really need a license to broadcast. And I'm like, no, you don't. But
you don't.
But radios are complicated, man. It took me some serious study to just to pass the technician, and that's like entry level shit.
Yeah,
man. That's no advanced stuff. I took the general test and bombed it. I think I got 5 questions right on the whole thing, and one of them was my name. It was bad.
You
It
get
was
like
bad.
5 points just for getting your name
Yeah,
right.
and I got like 6 points on the whole test, Livingston Man.
Conversely,
So
I
it was
think
like
if
my
you get your name wrong, you
and
should
I got
fail.
half the date right, because it was,
Half the
yesterday's
date.
Yeah, half the
Yeah.
date. I put yesterday's date, so it wasn't after, it was before. But
Yo, Teach, what's today?
it's not easy, guys. It's really complicated. And if you think you can just pick up a radio and talk to somebody through a repeater or through HF or something like that, unfortunately, I think you're sadly mistaken, man.
Yeah,
Honestly.
That's one of these things. It's like medical gear. Like just because you have this first aid kit strapped to your backpack, if
you
you
gotta go
don't know
take
how
a
to
class.
use it, well, a radio might not cause as much harm as negligently using a first aid kit.
True.
But at the same rate, just you're carrying this thing around. But if you don't know how to use it, you might as well not be carrying it around. You're not going to do anything.
Right.
Nobody needs to earn brownie points here. What you got to understand with this prepping thing, just because he's got a solar generator, just because he's got a Grail water filter, just because he's got a Gore-Tex jacket, just because he's got this and that and thing. There's no keeping up with the Joneses here.
No.
It's not a trend. It's not like the capri pants.
No.
It's what's going to work for you. What fits in your budget, and how are you going to do it your way? Because that's what it's going to boil down to. The friends, family, community, network aside, the first person in this whole thing is going to be you.
Yep.
What works for you? And that's what you have to figure out. And it's a long road, as you've perhaps seen from this conversation.
I think as a community, we don't do a good enough job sharing that news. I mean, the four of us do, because I think we kind of think alike.
Yeah.
When I see people saying, "Oh, well, you're a real prep," what's a real prepper? You know what? If you're a college kid, you just graduated with a bunch of debt, and you're trying to buy your first car, and all you can afford is a bunch of damn SpaghettiOs, a flashlight, and a poncho. Okay, you're a prepper at level 1. You're doing something, and that kid is probably better off than a lot of the next 20 in that age group, because they're already thinking that way.
That you just said it, Pete. That's the biggest thing, man, is that mindset of nobody's coming to save me. Even if you don't have anything, if you don't have anything prepped, but you have the mindset of, I am not going to let this beat me. I am going to get through this, and I can think outside of the box. Nobody's coming to save me. That's going to carry you so much further than a person who has zero training and a bag full of gear. I got to be honest.
That's just a loot drop.
Yeah. And it's not wrong. You're not wrong. And you know what? Honestly, if somebody gives you gear and they're like, "Hey, here's something for your preps," try it out, play with it a little. Don't burn your house down, but go in the yard and say, "Okay, can I make this fire starter make a fire?" And keep the water hose nearby just in case it runs amok, because that also is a prep, right? And just start trying with the gears. And just because you did it once, it's perishable. Don't, it's like shooting. You shoot and you don't pick up that shotgun, and then you go to a skeet tournament. You're not going to shoot as well as you used to. You know why? You kind of not in practice.
That's right. You got to practice. Use your gear. Test your gear out. That's why Hudson Valley Mike started the Bug Out Weekend. Test your gear.
He got annoyed because what you see is what was feared, what was prophesied, what the writing he saw on the wall was that people were going to show up to the apocalypse with their gear still in the package. They were gonna, and everybody was gonna learn the hard way what was good and what wasn't, and it was gonna be a very natural selection. What Mike has always strived to do on his channel, and what I've tried to help him with, is exactly what you just said. Is for whatever reason, even if you go let your kids play with it, man. But you got to take that. Do not be that proverbial guy that shows up with like shit still in the plastic when it's going down, man.
That's my favorite.
Listen, I'm not judging you, but I promise you everyone else is gonna. Okay, don't do it.
Well, it's when you take that brand new thing that you bought, that big ticket item, that's that 3-man tent from Big Angus with the with the vestibule and everything, and you spent the $750, bro. You spent the $750 on that Big Angus fancy ass tent, and then you take it out of the package and you realize that, man, somebody must have stepped on the box and shipping and crushed all of these fucking poles. And this thing is nothing but a big piece of canvas. And now my family has to sleep underneath this big piece of canvas, and I can't even give them a tent because all the poles are crushed. And I just, it's my fault because I didn't take it out of the bag and at least set it up in the yard and know that it worked. I just threw it in the bug out bag and said, well, I'll be fine. We got this $700 tent.
And a lot of your preps, you guys all talked about it in this live stream today. Use your preps day to day. I've been in blackouts. I promise you. I have so many stupid little flashlights. Like I said, TSA has a field day with me. They're like, "How many flashlights do you have?" I'm like, "I didn't even know. I've been looking for that one." Because yeah, they found it in the machine. But you know what? It use it every day. Like, the Sialooms, the little glow sticks. My boys were Cub Scouts, and I was the leader for their group, right? So that group of boys grew up together in that scout troop. And I'd get goodies for them. Here's glow sticks, here's little flashlights. And then I'd see if they survive 10-year-old boys in the woods.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good because I promise you, if it's made like garbage, it'll be in pieces with those kids.
Yep.
You know what?
Every day you should use them.
Preppers, but not just emergency preparedness, disaster preparedness.
Yeah.
If there are like young children, around knee high, hip high to a grasshopper type children, keep glow sticks around.
Yes.
Children will subconsciously understand that there is like something wrong and become anxious. I'm telling, and it's maybe I'm oversimplifying, but listen, if you just crack a glow stick and give it to a kid when the shit's going down, that's another burden. That's another like stress.
My Cubs, dude, my Cubs had to have, if we went out to the park, they had to have their get lost bag, right? Instead of get home bag, it was their you got lost bag, and it had a compass, a whistle, 2 glow sticks, a little itty bitty flashlight, and one of those cheap ass ponchos you get when like have to work in the yard and your wife's at Walmart and gets it for you.
A little plastic bag.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like the little people condom. And they had to
people condom.
And no, for real. And I got these little pouches, and every scout, if they didn't have it, they couldn't go on the hike.
Yeah.
And
we used to get cleared like that too before you could go out. You had to have the scout essentials. You had to demonstrate you knew what they were. The Boy Scouts is the only formal training I have in this entire movement, but I'll always lean back on it because it's designed for children. Children can understand it. It's broken down to its fundamentals, presented in a fun, adventurous way, and makes perfect sense. I was taught as a 12-year-old how to walk around in the woods, and there are 40-year-old people alive today that can't do that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. The Livingston Man had talked. After like, I think it was the first bug out bag weekend you came to, or maybe we were just discussing it.
It's 9 o'clock, and you'll notice that we've gone an extra 15 minutes here because of the Livingston Man channel. You get 25 to 50% extra with your purchase.
Oh, snap. I'm gone.
Now, wait, there's more.
Yeah. It's gone. Whatever I was saying.
I was saying something about at one of the first bug out weekends, something to do with the Boy Scouts.
Oh yeah. You had brought up the suggestion of perhaps we should have started the Man Scouts. Yeah, the Man Scouts. That was a big one because there's so many people who just don't know, and basically you just reteach all the Boy Scout stuff to 40, 50-year-old people who have never done it before.
It's completely loaded gender language there. Okay, I mean, I don't know, but just it.
Well, let's call them the Dude Scouts.
You're not wrong. You'd be one of the reasons I ultimately stopped being a scout leader and I pulled the boys out was the adults, not the kids.
Yeah,
I expected the kids to be stupid. The adults. If you were in scouts, so Livingston Man, you cannot carry the knife until you do the whittling chip card, and you have to. Right. And then, that's for the cubbies, and then as you go, you have to pass certain checkpoints.
Yeah.
And one dad just decided, I'm going to give a bunch of 6-year-olds small lock blade knives. I'm talking 3-inch blades, and they were throwing them around like ninja stars. So I took them all, and the dad got in my face over it. And I said, I'm not going to have a kid lose an eye because you're stupid. I told him that in front of his family.
Yeah.
And we had some words. And after that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish this camp out. And that was it. That was the last camp out I went to. But that same guy was useless. Couldn't set up his tent. He sat on his chair and just ran his mouth.
Yeah, that's why I never did the scouts. I did Golden Glove boxing instead.
Hey, that works. That works.
Yeah, and if you talk out of line, you get a receipt really quick.
Real quick.
You know what the receipts are too.
I remember it was a big deal. Like, you had to come, you had to, like, put on your uniform, take it seriously, salute the flag, say the oath, like, do the, you had your pre rituals, and then you would get about doing your scout stuff. My regret is that I was a little young to take it more seriously, and like why I have advocated for something for like, adults. That's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Where you can revisit what, or maybe not revisit it, but like
visit it for the first time.
Get you like
get the basics.
Stuff. Yeah.
Well, look at Lucky Dame's comment. She said, "Bro Scouts."
Bro Scouts, Lucky Dame preparedness. Good to see you.
Now, besides, like, I have no issue with including like women in the structure.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to act like I am going to teach women how to do something. I'd welcome their input on what I was teaching. As a matter of fact, women statistically do things like better with more patience than men.
Yeah, it's true.
Men get things done because of just brute force and ignorance mentality.
Sounds like Washington, man.
That is exactly correct. There is a level of finesse and tenderness that comes from instruction from a woman.
Scouts.
Absolutely.
There are historical parallels. You could talk about like I want to say the Spartans, but ancient civilizations, like they would split their childhood in half. Like their first 7 years of their life, they would spend with like female upbringing, and then they would go to live with the men and like the uncles and their paternal family section, and then they would go start to learn how to do the men stuff. But first, they were always taught to be they learned from the women first, and then the men. Get the best of both worlds. In American society, I guess I would have to conclude that we usually get one or the other, and rarely both.
Unfortunately, that's the case.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I found that there's like 2 or 3 families in my son's graduating class this year that have both mom and dad still in the house together, that don't come from a divorced family. It's very rare for folks to stay together in that family atmosphere. And I'm not saying it's not a family atmosphere, but both paternal parents in the same home. I'm not saying that step parents aren't parents. I'm not saying that at all, because they are. I grew up with step parents, and my stepdad is my dad, and my dad is my dad. I have both, but there's the family values in our society have been broken down so much that I think it's something that all of us need to do a little bit better to bring back, and instill those values in others. And sometimes you got to be somebody else's kid's dad, and it sucks, but sometimes you got to do it, and you can be the one who has the big impact on them. You don't have to do it by being a dick. And I find that most times it comes best when you can teach a teachable moment. There's a teachable moment here, and nobody's there to see it. So sometimes it's up to you to, teach that moment.
Imagine you as an adult, like trying to be taught something, and like the person is like being a dick about it. You're gonna learn this skill, or you're gonna like just learn to like hate it and that person.
Yeah.
think about that when you're teaching someone something. Like, there's no reason for you to act better than them. Like, you weren't born knowing that.
That's true. It's true. We all learned along the way.
That's right. We all did. But the not, well, from my perspective, like you were talking, Mike, the one household family, or for whatever reason, mom or dad, they're not there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let the Livingston Man expound on this, because that is systemic.
Talking dangerous, Terry.
Systemic. And it, there was a play in that, and why and how. And I'll leave it at that and won't jump down that rabbit hole.
I'll do it. I'll fucking leap head first into that shit. Classic American values. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just point out that we are about to give you 50% extra free right now.
There you go.
Classic American values are just out the window. People either find them stuffy and old, at worst repugnant. There's that classic one side out here who just decides that everything that is traditionally American is just
the devil.
Is just wrong. And times, my friends, they are a changing. And if you like Bob Dylan said, if you listen to that whole song, you don't stand in the doorway and don't block up the hall, because whether you wish you could hold back the tide of what's going to come, you can't. Nothing can. The force of nature that is occurring in the entire world right now is unstoppable. Whether if you agree with it, congratulations. If you don't agree with it, hold on real tight. But whatever you do, understand this, Rook. It's coming. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
Yeah.
You can go out and vote. You can go out and hold a sign in the street and block traffic. You can post on Facebook, and you can create YouTube videos, and you can try to bring everybody across to your truth. But the sad, unfortunate, honest fact is that, honestly, nobody gives a fuck. Because you got your opinion, but so does the next guy, right? I'm just going to scroll right past you and look at a guy with another opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a post-truth era. Stop looking for that.
Yeah.
That truth that you think exists, that only exists for you, man. Because, I disregard yours, proverbially, and I have my own. So unless you'll accept mine, I won't accept yours. And this is the world that we live in today. You have to live by your own moral code and really try and seek out the people that live by some version of that. And I think that that's like the best we can all do at this point, because opinions are like assholes, Rook. Everybody's got one.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
I think you're spot on. A lot of the social media just gave voice to the fringes that even 10 years ago.
How you like leave people now? You hear the people speak. Look at them. Jesus, we should have never let these people speak.
It's the ones way off on the edges, the ones that don't want to meet in the middle and exchange those ideas, as you point out, rightly so. Right. They don't want to have that commerce of ideas, that discourse. Instead, they want to go off into wherever they are, on the left, the right, the edge, the up, the down, and they just want to, be ugly to everyone around.
Yeah.
I think a lot
way
of
bigger
that is
voice than they deserve.
Yeah, and it's people that what is it? It's like a guilty pleasure. They get to go to a place. I've noticed that when you actually look into the analytics of your YouTube channel, that what a lot of the followers and subscribers say and act like when you go to view profile, they don't be talking that same shit. And I wonder if sometimes people use an edgy, what they consider to be sort of a, you know, a conservative or an extreme like side outlet to live an almost
vicarious life online.
Yes. You know what I mean? Like, because I see so many people that ain't like that on their main shit, but like they're in groups like being like this, and I wonder which side of them speaks louder. Like, which one's the real one, you know?
That's, I gotta tell you, Livingston, man, that's why I love the bug out bag weekends, because you know, we would get the like-minded people together, and everybody ends up staying up super late just to talk with everybody, because there's so many like-minded people there. There's so many people who have different gear than I have, and I really like this person's tent. I really like that the way they set up their campfire. I want to talk to them about that. This guy's cooking something over there that I gotta find out exactly what it is. And you make your way around, and you talk to all these people, and you end up staying up like really late. And, you know, it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden there's some commotion, and, you know, it's lo and behold, it's a couple of raccoons jumping out of a tree on top of Mad Shad. And, you know, that's what it is. But everybody comes out, everybody's okay, everybody's good. I want to see the person that you are at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when you're absolutely exhausted and something strange happens. Are you a complete and total asshole? Do you act with reason and logic, or are you just flying off the handle and totally useless? But you know, I want to see you when you're sleep deprived. I want to know the person you are when things are shitty, not just when times are good, because the people who can hold it together when things are pretty shitty, those are the folks you really want on your team. Those are the folks you really want on your side.
You got that right, you know. And then if you're privileged enough, you'll see Bob the cat beat up the raccoon.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. He hitched a ride with me from Brooklyn, Livingston Man, Bob the cat.
Bob the cat from Brooklyn.
Yeah. That's right. Brooklyn don't fuck around.
They're right. He now has children that live.
It wouldn't happen to be an orange cat, would it?
Oh no.
Okay.
No. It was Bob. He was Bob the cat. He looked like a bobcat, so we brought him.
Yeah,
Bob the cat.
Yeah, brought it to Ohio. He's Ohioan now.
Gentlemen and lady, I'm going to bring attention to this. Now it's a 1 minute warning. All right, I've given you 50% more free than everybody else does around here. All right, this is a one-time offer. What do they call this? Predatory pricing.
Predatory price.
See, what I do is I lower the price when I first open the channel. Congratulations to everybody here, because it's my literally first time on my channel on Rumble doing anything that anyone but myself saw.
And 16 Rumble viewers. I hope y'all have subscribed to the Livingston Man.
Big up to the 29 on YouTube. We are
we're breaking barriers here, folks. And I gotta be honest with you. I think the conversation here tonight was absolutely fabulous for going into this without a topic. I think we pulled a lot of useful stuff for the listeners and the watchers out there. So if you're watching this back, and you're here at the end, and you just got here, it's not a bad idea to rewind and check this whole thing again, because it was great, man. It was a great stream. I appreciate everybody being here. Livingston Man for hosting. Hopefully the Livingston Man channel is growing.
It won't. It doesn't.
It will. It will. We have to will it to happen, gentlemen. We're just going to will it to happen.
A small joy I take in my life, albeit bittersweet, is that I get to sit here amongst a panel of well-known established YouTubers and listen to y'all cry like babies about how y'all shadow banned and they're censoring my content. I'm over here with my 42 fucking subscribers.
You know what it is.
Welcome to my channel, giant rock stars.
I was quite proud to get put in Instagram jail.
Y'all ever played in a Walmart bathroom before? Because that's the venue we're in right now. I appreciate you, gentlemen, for stopping by to this.
Trent's gonna die. You need to stop.
None of us can help him. Bathroom.
Never mind, Trent. Look at that pestilence he was passing around the last live stream. I've been sniffling for a week. Allergy season.
Oh man,
allergy season.
Good times. Good
It's
times.
the man to blame right there, the upper right corner, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
right.
You need that Claritin. You
It's
can talk to
vision
this fella.
preparedness is fault.
I'm gonna rock the intro and get us out of here. You got more than you deserve from us already. Say good night, gentlemen.
This is the Horseman, and we're
Good night,
out of
gentlemen.
Be good, people.
Got the four horsemen riding through the night, bringing hell and havoc, ain't no hiding from the fight. Clutches of apocalypse gripping on tight.